The moment we become consumed by forces beyond our influence, we surrender our peace. Imagine navigating a world where every step forward, every accomplishment, is met with invisible opposition, one that doesn't just covet your success, but seeks to erode its very foundation. This isn't the plot of a thriller. It's the reality for those who find themselves caught in the snare of narcissistic envy. But why examine something so troubling? Because understanding is the gateway to liberation. To heal, we must first recognize the nature of the forces working against us. Jealousy is a natural human emotion, sometimes uncomfortable, yet universally experienced. But when viewed through the lens of narcissism, it evolves into something far more corrosive. No longer a fleeting feeling of wanting what another has. It becomes a deep-seated drive to undermine, manipulate, and control. This is not the passing envy of seeing a friend's new car or a colleague's career advancement. This is a jealousy that doesn't just desire, it seeks to dismantle. Now, let's ground ourselves in timeless wisdom. Stoic philosophy teaches that peace comes from focusing on what we can control and releasing what we cannot. External circumstances exist, but they hold no power over us unless we allow them to. When faced with a storm of narcissistic jealousy, Stoicism reminds us to stand firm, to recognize that another's envy is a reflection of their own inner struggle, not a measure of our worth. This journey isn't just about understanding the psychology of narcissism. It's about delving into the complexities of human nature. It's about dissecting the point where insecurity transforms into aggression. And as we wade through these turbulent waters, we will lean on the guidance of Stoicism, a philosophy that serves as both anchor and compass. I encourage you to stay with me through this entire exploration, as every insight builds upon the last. And if you find this discussion valuable, consider subscribing so we can continue unraveling the complexities of the human experience together. At its core, it is a craving for validation, an insatiable hunger for approval, and an extreme sensitivity to criticism. But to truly comprehend narcissism, we must move beyond labels and recognize it as an intricate emotional maze, one often born from early experiences of neglect or inadequacy. This is where Stoicism offers profound insight, a philosophy centered on inner stability and the ability to distinguish between what we can and cannot change. Stoicism provides a powerful lens through which to interpret narcissistic behavior. Rather than taking a narcissist's actions personally, we can choose to see them as expressions of their own inner turmoil. The Stoics remind us that our strength does not come from altering the behavior of others, but from mastering our own responses to them. A narcissist's sense of self is deeply intertwined with how they are perceived. Their confidence isn't self-sustaining. It is precariously dependent on external validation. This makes them highly reactive to criticism, not simply because they dislike it, but because it threatens their entire self-image. To them, rejection or disapproval isn't just unpleasant. It's an existential threat. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus would likely advise us to turn inward when faced with narcissistic behavior. Instead of engaging in a battle for control, they would encourage us to fortify our inner resilience, meeting such individuals with composure rather than conflict. In doing so, we not only protect our own well-being, but also cultivate a deeper understanding of human frailty. To truly understand narcissism, we must look beyond the mask. We must see the relentless pursuit of admiration for what it truly is, a desperate quest for the very things we all long for in different ways: acceptance, love, and security. Through the perspective of Stoicism, we are reminded that our greatest strength lies not in changing others, but in developing our own capacity for wisdom, empathy, and perseverance. At the root of narcissistic envy is a paradoxical struggle between an inflated ego and a profound sense of inadequacy. This form of envy is not the fleeting jealousy that occasionally stirs within all of us. It is something far more insidious. It festers, it manipulates, and above all, it seeks to dismantle whatever cannot possess. To cultivate inner peace by detaching from the opinions and achievements of others, recognizing that true fulfillment comes from self-mastery rather than external validation. At the heart of narcissistic envy lies profound insecurity, an insatiable need to feel superior, yet a constant fear of being inadequate. It's not just about desiring what others have. It's about resenting them for having it. This perspective turns life into a competition where another person's success is perceived as a personal failure. Such a mindset fuels bitterness and dissatisfaction, making it impossible to find genuine contentment. The Stoics, ancient philosophers who emphasize self-control and resilience, offer a powerful antidote to this destructive way of thinking. They would argue that envy arises when we tie our worth to things outside our control, status, possessions, or the approval of others, rather than to our own virtues. Marcus Aurelius might remind us that the opinions of others and material success are fleeting, while true value lies in our character and choices. By focusing on self-improvement rather than comparison, we can develop a stable sense of self-worth that isn't threatened by the accomplishments of those around us. One of the key drivers of narcissistic envy is the habit of constant comparison. Those who struggle with this trait often measure their own value against others in every aspect of life: career, relationships, appearance, always searching for proof of their superiority or reasons to feel slighted. But Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus inward, measuring our progress only against our past selves. Rather than striving to outshine others, the Stoic path emphasizes growth, self-awareness, and mastery over our impulses. Another essential Stoic concept is recognizing what truly matters. External achievements, wealth, and reputation may seem significant, but they are ultimately indifferent. They hold no real weight in shaping our moral character. Instead, fulfillment comes from cultivating wisdom, integrity, and inner peace. For someone trapped in the cycle of narcissistic envy, adopting this mindset can be transformative, helping them break free from the exhausting need to prove their worth through competition. Narcissistic jealousy and envy don't just exist in the mind. They shape behaviors and relationships, often in damaging ways. Those who struggle with these emotions may act in subtle or overtly harmful ways to undermine others. One common tactic is downplaying or discrediting someone else's success, whether through passive-aggressive remarks, dismissive attitudes, or outright criticism. The goal is not only to diminish the other person's achievements, but also to restore a sense of personal superiority. Another strategy often seen is imitation, not as a form of admiration, but as an attempt to compete. A narcissist might adopt the interests, ambitions, or even personality traits of those they envy, not because they genuinely appreciate them, but to assert dominance or reclaim the attention they feel they deserve. In workplaces, this can manifest as taking credit for others' ideas. In social circles, it may involve mirroring hobbies or achievements to maintain a sense of superiority. Through a Stoic lens, these behaviors reflect a fundamental misalignment with what truly matters. Stoicism teaches us to direct our energy toward things within our control, our own thoughts, actions, and character, rather than seeking external validation. By embracing this philosophy, we can step away from the destructive patterns of envy and competition, finding a deeper and more lasting sense of fulfillment in self-mastery and personal growth. True fulfillment stems from living with integrity and pursuing personal excellence rather than seeking approval or fearing the jealousy of those who thrive on validation. This mindset shifts our focus inward, allowing us to cultivate inner peace instead of being swayed by external praise or resentment. In contrast to narcissistic tendencies, this philosophy encourages self-sufficiency and emotional stability. Furthermore, embracing a Stoic outlook fosters both self-compassion and empathy for those consumed by envy. It reminds us that jealousy is often a reflection of deep-seated insecurity rather than a true judgment of our worth. Recognizing this can help us respond with understanding rather than frustration, acknowledging the underlying struggles that fuel such behavior. This doesn't mean justifying their actions, but rather viewing them with a sense of detachment that enables us to protect our own well-being. When dealing with envious individuals, especially those who resort to manipulation or negativity, Stoicism advises us to stay true to our values, prioritize self-growth, and detach our self-esteem from the opinions of others. This perspective acts as a shield, guarding us against the emotional turmoil that often accompanies interactions with narcissists. It also provides a roadmap to resilience, enabling us to navigate such challenges without compromising our sense of peace. By recognizing envy for what it truly is and equipping ourselves with Stoic wisdom, we gain the ability to rise above the chaos, maintain our composure, and continue evolving without being derailed by comparison or judgment. Effectively managing narcissistic envy requires a strategic approach, one that combines self-awareness, firm boundaries, and understanding of the motivations behind such behavior. It starts with recognizing that this type of envy goes beyond material desires. It often stems from a perceived lack of personal fulfillment, relationships, or qualities a narcissist believes they do not possess. By internalizing this, we can depersonalize their reactions and avoid absorbing their negativity. This is where Stoicism proves invaluable. It teaches us that while we cannot dictate how others feel or act, we have complete control over how we respond. Instead of seeking validation or engaging in power struggles, we can maintain our sense of self by focusing on our own growth and values. One of the most crucial aspects of dealing with a narcissist is setting firm boundaries, expressing them clearly, standing by them, and refusing to be manipulated. Stoic philosophy encourages us to remain steadfast in our principles and recognize what is within our power. We may not be able to change someone's behavior, but we can determine how much influence they have over us. At the same time, maintaining a sense of compassion, both for ourselves and for those trapped in cycles of envy, can be incredibly freeing. Understanding that every individual is fighting their own battles allows us to disengage from resentment and respond with measured calm rather than hostility. This approach doesn't excuse harmful actions, but enables us to remain emotionally unaffected, prioritizing our own peace of mind over unnecessary conflict. Stoicism also emphasizes focusing on what truly matters: our values, our actions, and the way we engage with the world. In the context of handling narcissistic jealousy, this means nurturing relationships that are genuine, investing in self-care, and aligning our lives with our principles rather than chasing external approval. True contentment doesn't come from validation, but from the knowledge that we are staying true to ourselves. Finally, seeking guidance from trusted friends, mentors, or professionals can provide fresh insights and strengthen our ability to navigate these interactions. Just as the Stoics valued the wisdom of a supportive community, leaning on others for perspective can reinforce our resilience and remind us that our worth is not defined by the opinions of those who envy us. Ultimately, overcoming the effects of narcissistic envy isn't about trying to change the envious individual. It's about fortifying our own sense of self. Through self-discipline, emotional boundaries, and a commitment to personal growth, we can rise above the turbulence and remain centered in the face of negativity. By applying Stoic principles to these challenges, we cultivate a deeper sense of resilience, allowing us to move forward unshaken by external forces. As we wrap up our discussion on narcissistic jealousy, one thing becomes clear. While such emotions can be disruptive, they also provide an opportunity for self-mastery. We've explored the psychological roots of envy, learned how to navigate these challenges, and drawn strength from the enduring wisdom of Stoicism. Through it all, we see that our power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering ourselves. Stoicism has served as our guiding light, reminding us that true fulfillment is found within. It teaches us that external turmoil need not disrupt our inner peace, that composure in the face of adversity is the ultimate strength, and that the judgments of others hold no power over us unless we allow them to. By internalizing this wisdom, we gain the ability to transcend petty conflicts, focus on personal excellence, and continue evolving in alignment with our values. In the vast landscape of life, where moment of light and shadow intertwine, the greatest clarity comes from understanding ourselves. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery and resilience. If you'd like to continue exploring these themes, consider checking out the recommended videos on the screen, each offering further insight into cultivating wisdom and inner strength. Your engagement and curiosity bring these discussions to life, transforming abstract ideas into practical wisdom. Until next time, remember, no matter the challenges we face, our response, our character, and our dedication to growth define our path. Let's keep striving, learning, and growing, anchored in timeless wisdom and driven by the pursuit of understanding and resilience.